Welcome to Fantasy Now Plus, your Monday edition with your host, Josh Kimmel. And pretty soon we'll bring in Justin, the big boss man. Before I do that, though, I do want to let you know what we're going to talk about today. Dynasty rankings at the quarterback position. A lot of you guys are starting your not redraft, your dynasty drafts or your rookie drafts, or maybe you're doing a startup because you're getting that little itch. So we're going to go ahead and rank our top 12, 15, 20, 32, 55 quarterbacks for your dynasty league. So let's bring Justin in here because I got some problems with his rankings already. I'm not going to jump into them. No. There's no cheers. There's no cheers for these rankings yet because I do have some problems. But we'll get to those problems soon. Before we do that, let's get to the happiness. What's going on, Justin?
We just had a serious conversation right before the show, and it's fine. It's Monday. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Do we have a serious conversation?
We did, about a player that we may or may not talk about today. He's irrelevant, so
sure. Just to peek back the curtain, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. That's the I'm not going to get into a huge rant because I'm not trying to lose subs because I know the J&J show. I like that. I do know that the consensus over Aaron Rodgers is he's a bad guy, the worst guy on the planet. He's a piece of crap. He's done every despicable thing in the history of the world. Never seen him beat up a woman on camera. Never seen him kick a woman on camera. Never seen him do it. Never seen him steal from charity. Never seen him do any of that stuff. Never seen him rape someone. Oh, can't say that. But yet he's the worst dude on the planet. So let's just get that out of the way. We will not be talking about the worst dude on the planet, Aaron Rodgers. But we are going to be talking about a lot of other young guys, a lot of up-and-coming guys, a lot of people that we do like for our fantasy teams because we're going to leave the old guys in the past. That's what Dynasty is about, building from the ground up these new players, these new toys, these new draft picks that we're going to talk about, and, of course, the younger generation. But, Justin, we have a lot to plug. We have a new show Fridays. If you were not aware, we do have a brand new show called Studs and Suds with our guys Jeff and Pudge over there. They drink a beer. We have a great time. We talk about different situations such as like roster construction or how to manage a league. There's many, many, many topics they cover. Justin, you were on that show. Give us an idea of what we can tune in for Fridays for.
It's even more than just the studs and suds. They do talk about commissioning leagues, different rule settings. They go through a lot of different things just for the every go fantasy consumer and player. So if you're new to fantasy leagues, this is especially new to commissioning leagues. This is a great show to really get ideas and really how to manage your league. They do talk about studs that they see coming up. And then, they talk about a little bit about beer and a lot of different things. Craig, our loyal listener here, was tuned in on Friday and was there for the whole show. So, Craig, I hope you liked it.
Right on, Craig. And everyone else watching, if you're watching on the Fins Talk Sports Network, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and do me a favor. If you're watching on FTSN, love those guys. Well, I'm a part of the FTSN crew. You are as well, Justin. I do a wrestling show on their network as well, and we're proud to be a part of them. So if you're watching on that site, if you're watching on their channel, please come over to Fantasy Now Plus. Subscribe to us as well. We're live. You can watch it here on Mondays, Fridays, pretty soon, every single day. So thank you so much.
Literally every day.
560 subs. It's pretty close. We want to get to 1,000 before the end of the season, or before the start of the season, not the end, the start of the season. So I think we can get that done. It's going to take your help. Make sure you share it with a friend. Make sure you let people know. Tell your coworkers. Tell your league. Tell everybody. It's the new hot thing to do on your Mondays at 12 o'clock. So before I blather on, we will get to Discord and Super League, but I want to get some content out there before we do blather on. Quarterback is very important in your dynasty formats, especially since we're all playing Superflex these days. I believe it's obviously the most important piece to your roster because if you have a guy, a tank, like a Josh Allen or these top tier guys, they can single-handedly bring you to the playoffs. Now, what does your roster around that do? Those people get you to the championship. It's very important to nail your quarterback position in Dynasty, I feel like. Do you feel the same, or do you just like to wing it? I know your style, but let the listeners know.
I do like to make sure I have the quarterback position figured out. I only have maybe a couple leagues where I didn't hit on the first probably 2 rounds of the quarterback. I went BPA there, and got some of the elite running backs, wide receivers, stuff like that. And I kind of, I don't want to say fumbled the bag, but did. Still ended up with some starting quarterbacks in the league and their backups. So that was, I don't like my outlook though. But the teams that I have nailed that quarterback position are the teams that are consistently competing in every single league for the championship. So I might be a correlation there. The teams I have a QB, I'm winning. The teams I don't do so well. So
It's just so much. It's so hard to replace top tier talent such as a Josh Allen or Joe Burrow because they're able to put up the 40-point games, but they're averaging such a high floor or ceiling compared to everybody else. If you're going to roll with the Trevor Lawrences of the world, you're playing roulette. Okay, are they going to hit this week? Are they not going to hit this week? These top tier guys are a must have, in my opinion, for any kind of startup you do. Now, when do you draft these guys? That's totally up to you. I've seen guys, super flex leagues, the first 4 or 5 picks are always a quarterback. It's always the same quarterbacks in the past 5 years recently, the Josh Allens, Lamars, Burrows, Hurts. We always get a rookie in there. Last year it was CJ Stroud, right? He crashed and burned. As we'll get on his ranking of where Justin thinks he should be. And then yeah. And then you got Justin Fields was being picked top 3 above Lamar. He crashed and burned as well. And then year previously, you had like the Trevor Lawrences. You always have these young guys up here because you want to get them young. You want to get them at their earliest age possible. So they're on your team for the maximum amount of time. So I totally get taking a shot on that. So the first guy on our list, Josh Allen. I have him 1, you have him 2. Now we can just go talk about the other guy as well, Lamar Jackson. You have him 1, I have him 2. We're just flip-flopping these guys. That's totally fine. I'm not going to pick nits. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I don't think you should tell me I'm wrong. It's just preference at this point. So why did you prefer Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen?
we're looking at 2 guys who both score 30 points a game. I mean, there's no wrong answer here. And I'm the difference on our team. I'm the only one that has Josh Allen ranked 2. Everybody else has him ranked 1. So Josh Allen is the consensus number 1. Lamar, I mean, QB1 last year. Josh Allen lost Stephon Diggs and still was able to do really well with just Khalil Shakir and like Keon Coleman. So I don't hate it. Yeah,
the corpse of Amari Cooper.
exactly. Both of these offenses are basically the same as they were last year. So it's really just, I don't know. Is Lamar looking off MVP season? We need to do better this season, or is he going to take a step back? I just prefer Lamar. I know Josh Allen has a lot of the goal line rushing touchdown upside. Lamar has more of the open field rushing upside. Again, I think I switched these this morning or maybe last night. I think I had Josh Allen as 1, and then I switched it as a gut feel.
Gotcha. Like, yeah, you can go either or. They're both going to be studs. They're both going to be top 3 picks. So you can't go wrong there. We do have a question in the chat off the rip. How do you feel about the Tampa Bay quarterback, which is Baker Mayfield, or the Chargers, which is Justin Herbert? I currently, just want to throw it out there, I have Baker Mayfield at 15. Rank 15 in Dynasty. I know. And I have Justin Herbert at 8. Why 15? I still have my doubts, even though he's proven us wrong in the past, even though he's made us popular for a short period of time because of our shorts we made 2 years ago. I love Baker. It's just I love the guys above him more. And that's why we play Superflex, because we got to the situation where if you're only starting 12 quarterbacks, you're not starting a lot of great talent. So that's why I feel like we as an industry and us as everyone, the whole fantasy community say, you know what, Superflex makes sense because we need to get some of these quarterbacks involved. Like, you wouldn't start Caleb Williams in a 12-team league, but you have to in a Superflex. That's why these things are so interesting. But where do you have Baker?
I have him at 10, which actually I dropped him this morning because I had him like 6 or 7, and then I was just like, it's still Baker. Like, yes, Mike Evans is still there. Yes, Chris Godwin's still there. Yes, they got Emeka Egbuka. Like, the talent is there. Liam Cohen is not. And that's my worry. So that's why I've dropped Baker down, is because Liam Cohen's no longer there. So how is that offense actually going to look with the new offensive coordinator again? Just thinking dynasty, like, I don't know that I want to tie my hand to Baker Mayfield for the long term. Short term redraft, okay, probably right up there, top 10. But
No, you nailed it, Justin. He's not, Liam Cohen's not there, and his offensive coordinator before is the head coach in Carolina. So Baker is going on his third offensive coordinator. Like, that's the story of Baker's career, is who's going to be the offensive coordinator coming into the season for Baker Mayfield. It's always someone new. So I want to see how this quarterback does with an aging Mike Evans, who's now a lot older, which still a dog. Chris Godwin will not be ready for week 1. I don't think he will be. So he's going to be relying on the K. Dottons and the Jalen McMillans and Mbukas early on. And again, you said it perfectly. I don't want to tie myself up in Baker Mayfield when I know Mike's almost out the door. And who knows? Chris Godwin's 29 years old. Is he ever going to be fully recovered? Seems like he's injured every other year. And do we really know if McMillan or Mbuka is going to pan out? So that's why he's so low to me, because I don't know if he's going to pan out 3-4 years or 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the line. Whereas Herbert, he's young, he's a stud. He doesn't have to rely on an offensive coordinator change. We all thought when Harbaugh took over that he would throw for 2,000 yards and just totally not be productive, but that was not the case at all. He was very productive last year through minimum interceptions, minimal mistakes. That's why I have Justin Herbert a little bit higher, because I will tie my hands with Justin Herbert for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
yeah, I'm not out on Herbert. Yeah, he had a down year in 2023. Obviously, he finishes QB 17. After he's finished 9 to 11, and then last year was 12. I expect a top 10 finish again for Herbert. He is still a very, very good quarterback in his 6th year now. So I think you could get a lot of value in the like second and third round drafting him if you're in a startup. I think you can still get a lot of value out of him from people that think he's just gone. He's not. Like, they just added another wide receiver weapon to that roster, who I think will probably be opposite. Ladd will be in the slot. I think he'll actually end up taking QJ's spot, Quentin Johnson's. So I see good things for Justin Herbert this season.
Listen, last year, Justin Herbert, we thought he would be, of course, with Jim Harbaugh's offense, not effective. He was his highest yards per attempt ever last year, 7.7 yards per attempt, which we always say yards per attempt creates fantasy points. Fantasy points creates wins. Wins creates championships. So that's what you want with your quarterbacks. And he's so steady. So speaking of steady Eddie guys, we got to get into it because it's the most interesting thing we have ranked. And guys, we didn't see our rankings beforehand. This was a total reveal this morning. You have CJ Stroud at quarterback 14. I have him at quarterback 7. I'm in the camp where one bad year or one great year will not sway me in Dynasty whatsoever. I've seen what you're capable of, CJ Stroud. Yes, last year he finished below Aaron Rodgers in fantasy points. That is a fact. You can go look it up if you forgot about it. CJ Stroud was ungood last year. But I still see the talent, and I still see the desire, and I still see that he's going to be great. He lost Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell last year. He was left with a Nico Collins who also missed time last year. If we're going to ding these other quarterbacks for missing pieces, we can't ding CJ Stroud. He's going to come back better and bigger and better than ever. Everyone takes a sophomore slump. Why are you giving up on him? So you're just giving up on him. Third year quarterback. I don't get it.
It's not that I'm giving up on him. I just like the people that I have, the 13 quarterbacks that I have ranked above him in their situations. CJ Stroud is not in a good situation right now. They did not fix their offensive line like they needed to desperately. You mentioned he lost Tank Dell to injury. He lost Stephon Diggs to injury and now off the team. And they replaced him with Christian Kirk and like 3 rookies.
Not good.
So it's Nico Collins and Joe Mixon is the offense. Like I don't like that from a quarterback that should be top 10. He hasn't finished top 10 yet in his career. He was 11 and 18, which is a starting quarterback. Yes, 11 is a starting quarterback. 18 is still a starting quarterback, but so is 14. So again, I like who I have above him. I don't like his situation in comparison to the guys that I have ranked above him right now.
He really only finished 11th last year or
He
2023.
finished, yeah.
As a rookie, though, we didn't expect
in
anything.
a year with no quarterbacks. In a year when all the quarterbacks got injured.
That's 1000% true. And he only played 15 games in 2023, so he missed 2. So imagine if he played all 17 games, he'd be a little bit higher, Justin. That's why I asked, because his average points per game is sitting at 7th overall, 18.7 in 2023. Last year, he lost 5 total points to his average, averaging 13.7, which was 28th best, or really, really bad. I can't say best when 28th. It's got to, I would say in Dynasty, we overreact. And if you're going to let him fall and you can't see his perceived value in the future when they do add pieces, then you're missing the whole point of Dynasty. I feel like Dynasty rankers around the nation, in the environment, in the what's the word I'm looking for, in the space that we're in, we look at only last year's numbers and we go, well, he was really bad last year because of this, 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 or he was really good last year because this, and this. So we majorly, drastically change our Dynasty rankings for 2025, which that's what we do for redraft. For Dynasty, I feel like we should stay the line with these guys, especially at the quarterback position, because if you're good at the quarterback position, you're good. It's not like a running back or receiver you just fall off unless you're Deshaun Watson. That's it. That's the only quarterback I feel like has ever fallen off the face of the planet due to I don't even know what.
Every Texans quarterback has fallen off, like just straight off the cliff of the earth. Hold on.
Have they had a quarterback to even be on?
I mean, no, they're still a young organization, but the organization is not great. And that's another thing that is making my rankings the way they are, is that they don't know how to handle building a team. The Texans are consistently, they have 1, 2, maybe 3 really good seasons, and then they fall for 5. And then they have 2 or 3 good seasons, and then they fall for 5. So this is year 3 of a really good time frame for the Texans. What happens after that?
I'm going to sit here and tell you, I'm going to trust the talent and hope they can get a piece to put around him later on, because I don't see this kid's career just dying after 1 season. That's all. 14 is fair because now you have your doubts and you gave valid reasons. It's the organization. They don't know how to do things. They don't know how to run the organization. And I was listening to the radio this weekend driving around, and someone said the same thing. Every owner of the NFL is just a billionaire that gets lucky, right? All of them. Josh Allen lands in Buffalo's lap. Lucky. Nobody touted him as the best quarterback in the draft. Lamar Jackson was picked 32nd. They took Hayden Hurst earlier in that round, in the first round, over Lamar Jackson. Was it a luck that they traded up to get him? Maybe, but he panned out. Jaden Daniels, again, lucky that they picked him too, and they were able to. So I guess you're right. They may have gotten lucky with CJ Stroud. Now let's see what they do with it. I can get lucky and win $10,000 today. Let's see what I do with it later on, right? It's all about what you can do. So that's a fair ranking, Justin. A lot of people don't put the organization into their rankings, and you sure did. So great insight, buddy. I'm proud of you. Can we talk about Drake? Can we talk about Drake May? Can we talk about Drake May and why Sean, I'm not going to say it, but
hasn't updated his ranking since January.
He's killing our Drake May vibe, bro. Yes. Even with Sean's terrible ranking of Drake May, we still have him in our top 10. I have him 9. You have him 8. We are very close to him. Is Are we going to be viewed as psychopaths for having him in a top 10?
Potentially. But a lot of people forget 2 years ago, Drake May could have been like the first QB off the board last year. If he would have had the same season as he had been going on to have. But he didn't have as good of a season as Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, so he fell, which is fine. I hate having a Patriots quarterback this high. It's a personal opinion on me. But they've added slowly around him. They went out and got another running back. Maybe they can have a two-back system. They've shored up their offensive line a lot better than they have in the past. Drake May is versatile. He can get outside the pocket and actually run the ball. He's probably one of the more consistent running backs from or quarterbacks. Sorry, one of the most consistent quarterbacks that can run the ball from his draft. And yeah, that's including with Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels in there. And he can throw it. He is a very accurate passer. And now I know your opinions on Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Diggs seems to go to teams with a young quarterback that is either first or second year in the league, and they have huge years. Josh Allen wasn't doing great, brought in Stephon Diggs, became elite. CJ Stroud did pretty good, came in, he was doing great with Diggs until he tore his ACL. I know he's a locker room cancer and all those things, and he's a hothead and stuff, but he does good things for young quarterbacks, and I'm hoping that is the same thing with Drake May. They've added around that offense. Mike Vrabel has come in. They're going to actually allow their offense coordinator to be an offense coordinator. They don't have a defensive coordinator running the offense anymore, so it's should be a good year for Drake May.
Yep. He had 421 rushing yards last year. He averaged 32 yards a game on the ground. So that's almost a full touchdown extra a game that you get out of your quarterback. Running quarterbacks are such a cheat code. We forget about Demario Douglas, his uprise. Like, I know he's down there. People aren't ranking him super high, but he's still a solid player in New England. You add Stephon Diggs, who can be detrimental to your team. We'll see how that goes with Drake May. Hopefully he doesn't kill his confidence. Drake May's really, really good against the pressure, right? Top 5 in completion percentage against the blitz last year. Very underrated stat. You want to see him pick that up. I mean, you want to see your rookie quarterbacks stand in the pocket and actually throw the ball, so that's good for him. I like Drake May this year a lot. He's one of my most added players this offseason. I've been trying to add him ever since last year, and people are finally catching on that he's really good. And it's sad because I can't add him cheap anymore. But he's a player that's definitely risen up my rankings, and he's going to be someone I want for a very long time on my team. If he has a top 10 year this year, top 6, how much higher are you willing to go on Drake May? Are we all in?
Assuming he has a top 6 year, I'm going to assume the Patriots did well, which means they're probably picking in the 15 to 25 range, which means that's a almost borderline luxury pick, which means wide receiver, which means you're getting the top 3 wide receiver in the draft, which is going to add to Drake May's value, which means Drake May to the moon.
Drake May to the
That's
moon,
how I'm seeing
baby.
it right now, is that if he becomes a top 6 quarterback, they probably did pretty well this season.
I would agree with that. Before we get on to some more quarterbacks, I just want to remind you guys, make sure you join our Discord, get in with the guys. If you ever thought, man, it's 11 o'clock at night, the show's not on, I need to ask Justin something. I need to
I'll be
tag
asleep,
Justin,
but there will be other people,
and ask him something. Just join our Discord. And let me tell you guys, just at him constantly, and he will eventually pick up his phone and he will respond. So join our Discord. It's in the link below. It's on FantasyNowPlus.com, as well as Super League. Super League is also over there. We are getting filled up. People are picking their spots. They're picking their divisions. So make sure you be a part of that. And one last plug before I do move on to our next quarterback. The 24-hour stream is coming up in less than 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks. Why did I sign myself up for it? Because I can't wait to have fun with Justin at 2 o'clock in the morning playing college football. That's what I'm doing, baby. So make sure you join us anytime from May 23rd, starting at 8 p.m. It is a Friday, going all the way till 8 p.m. the very next day, which is a Saturday. You'll catch me, Justin, the entire FN Plus staff, plus a lot of cool guest hosts or guest people coming on. So that is a blast. All supporting Extra Life. So Justin, can you go into that real quick?
Yeah, so it is supporting Extra Life. Extra Life is a charity that you can donate right on to our team page that supports the Children's Miracle Network hospital systems. So there's hospitals all around the country. Every dollar that you donate goes directly to them, whether that's helping pay bills, family assistance, research, lab equipment, admin fees, anything like that. It's helping support that system so that families can get the need that they need and not have to necessarily worry about the financial aspect of getting their child to be healthy again. So that's the charity that we're supporting for that 24-hour stream and for Super League. Any donation is greatly accepted. You do not have to make a donation to join Super League, so sign up whether you want to or not. And but donations are greatly appreciated. Last year we raised a little bit over $1,000. This year I hope to make two.
Awesome. Awesome. Good times. And if you want to be in my division, it's filling up the fastest, by the way, because they want to take down the king. I know I wasn't the champion last year, but I was like pretty much the hypothetical champion because I lost by 0.04. And I had the best team. But be that as it may, we're going to talk about the lower end. What?
Your division's filling up the fastest. Nobody can join my division anymore. It's filled.
I said filling up. Yours is filled.
Mine's completely full.
Yeah, yours is full. I said mine's filling up.
And how's your
because mine's still filling up. Mine's still filling up. Yours is full. It's common sense, Justin. Like you're smart. You're an IT.
Actually, Captain Marvel has only 2 spots left. You have 4.
I have many people requesting to be part of my. They have to get.
Oh.
You have to ask me to be in my league. Don't look me in the eye though. And when you DM me, say hello, Mr. Kimmel. Can I please be in your league? And I'll say yes or no. No, I'm just kidding. Am I really only 4 people away from being full? Come on, guys, join my division. What division am I? Captain Crunch. Whoops, berries, because that's all I like. I do like the peanut butter one. Peanut butter one's legit. I like the whoops berries. Oops berries, right? All of them. Do you even eat cereal, Justin? You have no kids.
Yeah, I do. I eat cereal.
This man doing eating cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What's a grown-ass man doing? Eating cereal with no kids. Anyway, the bottom of our quarterbacks, the second tier, the second tier guys. I do want to talk. We have Michael Penix Jr. That's glaring to me. You have him at 20. I have him at 13. Josh, why do I have him so high? Or Justin, why do you have him so low? Are you not a believer in Drake London and the things he proved to you last year? Or do you need to see a little bit more, a full season of Michael Penix? Because you have him at 20.
I do have him at 20. I do want to see a full season of what he brings. I know he did very well in Washington. I actually was a big Penix fan when he was at IU. Many people forget that he was at IU first. I think we lost Josh to his shitty internet, so I'll just be here to talk for a minute while Josh figures out life there because he looks really dumb. But yeah, I would like to see Michael Penix do something more than just play a couple games. Now that teams should have game film on Michael Penix, they might be able to defend him. They were all planning for Kirk Cousins. All. I gotta bring myself back in here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Michael Penix. I know Josh has him at 13. I have him at 20. The rest of us have him in the 20s. So again, this is another situation where I just like the players ahead of him, but Michael Penix is also younger and more ready to go than a lot of these other guys. So and should be around for the long haul. Guys I currently have in front of Penix include Sam Darnold, which he could drop easily dynasty wise. Dak Prescott just got another big receiver, so that's big. Tua, Brock Purdy at 16, Jared Goff at 15. So I do like some of those guys a little bit better, but we're in the territory of borderline Superflex / bench player. Which one? So
man, I have him at 13 because I'm projecting a big year from Michael Penix and a big career for Michael Penix. I could be 1000% wrong. It's okay to take shots at guys that you believe in, and Michael Penix is one of those. I am clearly the highest. Everyone on our staff, and mind you, some of these guys on our staff have not updated their rankings as recently as of this morning, like we have. But I'm the only person who doesn't have him in the 20s. I have him in the 13ths because, guys, I have to believe in his talent. Drake London is a massive, awesome, elite receiver, which we're going to see him break out this year with Michael Penix Jr. We didn't see enough games last year to make me want to believe that Michael Penix Jr. can hold on to this 13th spot. But again, I'm just projecting forward. I see that big arm. I see that offense. I see what they're trying to do in Atlanta. I like Bijan Robinson. I like the pieces they have around him. I'm not going to say Kyle Pitts, but they got Kyle Pitts. You know, that offense made Ray McLeod somewhat relevant last year, I believe. So I think if they add a secondary person to Drake London, they get that second wide receiver, they could be a very, very awesome offense moving forward. Now, this is me projecting forward still. I'm pretending like Michael Penix is a rookie going into my season. Because again, we only saw 5 games. In 2 of those games, by the way, week 7, 11, he had less than 5 attempts combined, or less than 6 attempts combined. So against Seattle, he had 1. Against Denver, week 11, he had 4. So really, he only had 3 starts, week 16, 17, 18. That's not enough for me to make my decision on he's good or bad. That's just me projecting forward like he's a rookie coming in. That's how I did it. So let's see a full season, a full OTA, a full training camp where he's getting full snaps, not Kirk Cousins, because we know Cousins was getting all the snaps in preseason, all the snaps in training camp, all the snaps in practice. Let's see what happens if Penix can get all that stuff as well. Yeah. 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 Well, bring up a guy you want to talk about. Who do you want to talk about?
That's
We're
a
pretty
very
similar
great
on
question.
We're similar on everybody else almost.
We really are similar on a lot of people. Trying to think of one that we're kind of different on or have.
Give me a make or break. Give me a make or break. Give me someone who's like, okay, this is his make or break year. He's in like, I can give you a couple names, possibly.
I could give you a name, but I think we both are going to have different opinions on the make or break aspect of it. Well, actually, it is a make or break for his entire career. If you want to talk about that,
yeah.
I swore I would never talk about this player on here again until he's fantasy relevant, but Anthony Richardson.
Now, let me ask you guys, those of you in the chat, those of you watching after, leave your comments below and tell me that I'm crazy. And when you do that, though, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, because it really helps us out. But I want you guys to answer this question openly and honestly. Would Aaron Rodgers make the Colts a better football team? That's all. And then we're going to move on. That's it. We're not going to talk about it, Justin. I want people in the chat and people watching afterwards, or make this into a short, Sean. I want comments. Would Aaron Rodgers make the Colts a better football team? And I'm going to leave it at that. You guys have fun with it in the chat. But Anthony Richardson, I don't think he makes the Colts a better football team. Plain and simple. Tell me why I'm wrong or right.
I don't necessarily disagree that he makes the Colts a better football team. We keep talking about upside, and we stop talking about upside once they hit a certain age. And did you realize that Anthony Richardson is actually still younger than Cam Ward right now? Like 17 days younger than Cam Ward is. He's still one of the youngest starting quarterbacks in the league. I think only like Drake May and maybe Caleb Williams is older. Jaden Daniels is older. Name a younger quarterback than Drake May or Anthony Richardson that is starting in the NFL right now.
I don't think I can.
There's not. That's the thing. There is none. So we're still talking about a 22-year-old that is learning the game of football. Yes, I understand he's not worth the 4th overall pick. I get that. Like I do. Like that's never lost on me. People can make those comments all the time. That does not affect me. But the fact is, look at his game tape or his fantasy stats last year. He tapped out in that game in week 8. He was benched for 2 weeks. What happened after that? 28 points, 13 points against a tough Detroit team, 23 points against New England, 16-21. He finished the season off very well for what he needed to. Then he had an injury that they didn't want to risk making worse for the final 2 games of the season since they were out of the playoffs at that point. They added Tyler Warren. You get another year of Josh Downs. Michael Pittman doesn't have a broken back anymore that he played pretty much 3/4 of the season plus last year. This is a season that is finally, I think, a make or break season for Anthony Richardson. They bring in Daniel Jones. We talked about this. I think you asked me on Saturday whether when will Daniel Jones play, and I told you, I was like, I don't think Daniel Jones will play. He might play for a week or 2, but I think that's not until week 6 or 7, maybe even 8. When they finally decided, okay, Richardson's not it anymore, and we're gonna move. That's why they drafted Riley Leonard. Maybe Riley Leonard might be the guy. Maybe he's a transitional guy to get us to the next quarterback. But I think I would see more Riley Leonard than Daniel Jones this season. Again, 22 years old. Only one quarterback in the NFL is younger than him right now.
I understand that. And if you go upside or this and that, and we draft him because of his rushing upside, right? He can add so much to the ground. He had 499 rushing yards last year. That's fair. That's good enough. Drake May is right there, though. Drake May is right there. And Drake May can throw the football as well. There's a problem when you're a quarterback in the NFL, you need to throw for 8 touchdowns. Like that, don't you see a problem with that? That's a major problem.
He had 499 in 11 games and 6 touchdowns on the ground alone.
But he tapped out.
He did.
You got to take that in account. He tapped out in Indianapolis, of all places, probably the easiest place to play football. Nobody's on you. Nobody
Field
cares.
Sucks.
Well,
Field sucks.
I mean by I'm talking about the pressure, the fans. Like you.
Oh no, that is not an easy place. There's a lot of expectation. When you go from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck to now this bullshit, this is not an easy place to play quarterback.
You guys are like, good game, right? I don't know the Indianapolis. Was that Canadian?
Is this Canada?
Good game, guys. Let's go get some corn, right? I don't know what you guys do up there in Indianapolis, but all I'm saying is 8 touchdowns, though. I don't care how many games he played. 8 touchdowns is bad. Like that's unreal. And you go, well, he's pressured. His offensive line is trash, or he's completing 51% of his passes in a clean pocket. I don't make these stats up. These are stats I'm getting off the internet, people, from different sites. They all match up.
Now
he can't throw the ball.
Now let's factor in drop balls, routes that just completely they just stopped running. If you factor in all of those, he has actually I like the stat. He's actually throwing 75% completion percentage, but nobody wants to count that. It's only the ones that, of course, the wide receivers affect the quarterback stats too, So, again, I'm not saying Anthony Richardson's a top 5 quarterback. We both have him ranked at 23. We're both equal. I almost dropped him even further because I want to see it. You asked what is a make or break season for a quarterback on our rankings, and this I think is a make or break. Either he will make it into the top 15 or he will not be a quarterback next year.
I'm leaning towards he won't be a quarterback by the end of the season. And I do think maybe I'm wrong, but I do think Daniel Jones will take over this team sooner rather than later. And people, you can't say Daniel Jones is just as bad because he's not. He's light years ahead of Anthony Richardson, and he should be. He's played in the NFL a lot longer. But I would love if they announced Daniel Jones was the starter of the Colts. I would be very, very excited because I saw what he could do with Neighbors. He made Neighbors. He fed Neighbors. They fed Neighbors. Pittman's kind of probably over the hill by this point. I don't see an explosiveness out of him. No upside, very limited player. But I would love to see Tyler Warren go nuts. I would love to see Josh Downs go nuts. Josh Downs is so exciting to watch. And I feel like they're all being wasted away again by Anthony Richardson in this Colts offense. So that's why I have him ranked so low. I'm avoiding him. Dirtbag Dave, friend of the show, he told me he can't get rid of this guy. He's been trying to trade him all damn offseason. Can't even get a second for him. I think he's at an all-time low value, and it sucks. And if you drafted him high, you're stuck with him. What's worse, drafting Trey Lance and getting nothing, like zero production, or Anthony Richardson and him just having you lose games? Because at least Trey Lance, you could have moved on. Like if you had Richardson last year, you were obligated to start him. You felt like you had to start him, and he was tanking your team.
Not in the playoff time frame. Once your last final playoff push,
by the time you got to the playoff push, you were already 0-7, bro. You were already out of it. You're already eliminated. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? All right, you're a big. All right. It's fair enough. I don't see anyone else I'd like to see or talk about today on the show, and we have gone a little bit long for this type of show. We'll be back next week talking running backs or receivers or tight ends. Who knows? You have to tune in. You have to hit the alert button. You have to subscribe to know, or just go to FantasyNowPlus.com. Make sure you bookmark it, right? Save it as one of your favorites. Make it one of your go-tos. We post all the news there. Do we post news there? I don't want to give these people false information.
I mean, we will be posting news in there.
We will be posting news there.
But we do. Media, though. That's where we post all of our news.
Blue Sky, Fantasy Now Plus. We broke the Derek Carr news before I even knew. I'm like, alert. Oh, Derek Carr retired? Where's my source? Fantasy Now Plus on Blue Sky. So make sure you have your alerts on there as well. Follow everybody. Justin Bauerle, Josh Kimmel, all the staff. Join our Discord. Please. Not please. Yes, please. Join our Discord. Have some conversations with us. We have a lot of things. Are you playing the outro music? Because I can't hear it.
Yeah, I was distracted by your fire alarm that you need to change the batteries on.
I changed the batteries. I don't know how to fix it. I changed the batteries on freaking Friday. But did you hear him last week too?
No, I didn't. But I'm hearing him now. It's been like every 30 seconds.
Driving me insane. So I'm going to get out of here and change those batteries again. I don't know how to do it, people. If anyone wants to DM me on how to change batteries in a fire detector, please do it. Blue Sky, Josh Kimmel, or Fantasy Now Plus. Make sure you subscribe and like. Thanks, guys. We'll be back next week.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.